Hello everyone, this is Kenneth Brandy from Tech and welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are going to create a simple Python application, and this is going to be an audiobook. So we are going to have a PDF file which we are going to put in our application, and it is going to be read for us. And it is very simple and very easy to accomplish. So over here, I have this PDF document over here, a very simple PDF I just generated over here. So as you can see, I have 4 pages over here, and page 1, the text over here is this is software engineering course. Then on page 2, I have we will learn Python. Obviously we are doing that. Then on page 3, we will learn HTML, CSS and Bootstrap. And page 4 is we will learn the Django framework and build a web application. So this is going to be the PDF material. Now I didn't want to bring any other PDF over here because that's going to be like a bunch of text, and I want to have an instance where 2 pages will be read or more. So now that we have this, I have this open up in VS Code, and I'm just going to close this up, and I'm going to create in a file I'm going to call audiobook.py. So the way this is going to work is we are going to install 2 packages. I already have installed on my system, but I will admonish you go onto the Python package index where we have developers publishing packages. And remember, I did a video on how to publish a package over here. You can check out that video in the link below or using this card. So basically what this means is we are going to use a Python package called Python text to speech. So Python text to speech, and this is the package. So when you type in Python TTS x3, it will lead you over here, and this is just about it. So we can run a pip install pyttts x3. So we'll copy to clipboard and come into our terminal and come and run it over here. So I already have it installed, so it's going to tell me requirement already satisfied, as you can see over here. Good. Now the next package we would want to work with is we are going to work with PyPDF. So we are going to work with PyPDF2, and this is the package PyPDF2. So we'll click on this one, and this is about the latest version at the time of recording this video. So we'll click on this, and if I'm to come in here and do PyPDF2 or pip install PyPDF2 and press enter, once again it is also going to tell me that requirement already satisfied, as you have it over here. So we have these 2 packages, and we are going to use both of them to help us work with our projects. So back over here, the first thing we will do is, let me clear this one over here. The first thing we are going to do is, obviously I'm going to import those packages. So Python text to speech x3, and I'm also going to import PyPDF. So I think it's capital, so PyPDF2 this way. All right, so first of all, let's see how this Python text to speech actually works, so that we'll have a feel of it. So this will actually change any text to speech, so it's going to speak out whatever we want. So let's say we instantiate the class over here. So I have Python text to speech dot init, and init is going to instantiate it so that this object speaker will be created here for us. Then I can do speaker dot say. So the question is, I need to pass in a text over here, and this is going to be the text which I want us to, or I want the speaker to say. So I'll say learn Python. Then the next thing I'll then need to do is I need to do speaker dot, there's a method over here called run wait. So I'll do speaker dot run and wait. So just about doing this, if I'm to run this program,
learn Python,
we have learn Python being spoken out over here for us. And let me just add in some few things over here. So when I save this, learn Python with Tech I'm going to keep quiet for the system to run.
Learn Python with Ken Brotek.
Okay, so now that we have this, it is now that we are going to work with the PDF, so that's not just typing in learn Python with Ken Brotek, but then it is going to pick up these text from the PDF and speak it out or make an audiobook out of it for us. So in view of that, I'm going to come in here, and this is why we need the PyPDF too, because that's what we are going to work with. So first of all, let me just clear these ones out. We'll come back to this later on. So in order to work with the PyPDF too, let's create in an object over here. So we have book, and book is going to be equal to, we are going to use the open method over here, and we need to specify the file name. So the file is going to be book.pdf. This book.pdf is what we have as our input, the book. Then I'll pass in a comma. Then we need to specify some other parameters over here. Now when you scroll down, when you are using VS Code, you can see that we have some other characters that we can pass. So for instance, we can pass an R, which is the open for reading. This by default. And there are other parameters over here, and we would also want to pass the B, which is going to open for reading in binary mode, and this is what is going to help us with our audiobook. So I'll do RB over here. Now if I'm to just print out book, and I'm doing this step by step, if I'm to print out book, and let me just open this up a little bit and run this program, we are going to have that a book object has been created, and you see that we have a buffer reader is equal to name is equal to book.pdf. All right, so this is not bad, but then what we want to do is we want to use this PyPDF2 package over here. So I'm going to say book PDF. So book PDF is going to be, and I'm going to instantiate this class over here, this library. So PyPDF2 dot, then I have the PDF file reader over here. So I'll call this method over here. Then I need to pass in this book objects I just created. So I'll do a Control-C of the book and paste it over here. Now let's also try and print out this book PDF that we've just created out of this book over here. Now when I run this, you can see that this is showing, something different from this, but basically what that this means is a PDF book has been created of this book object we had over here, and this is the memory location for it. All right, we are not interested in memory location. We want to see some few things over here. Then so what I'm going to do is I'm going to create in a variable I'm going to call total pages, or total page, and total page is going to be from this book PDF object we created over here, and we want to have access to the get num pages over here. So this is a method we are calling on this book object we created over here, and that's the reason why we are using the PyPDF2, because there are a number of objects or the number of methods that we can have, and this is one of them, get num pages. So if I'm to do a print of the total page over here and run this code, you can see that we have 4 showing up over here, and that's essentially the total number of pages we have in this book or PDF material over here. Now depending on the PDF material that you are using, is going to display the total number of pages. Okay, so now that we have this, we can also get a particular page, and let me just comment this one out, or better, so let me clear this out, and I'm going to create in a variable I'm going to call get page. And get page, we are going to go through this book PDF objects that we've created over here, and we are going to call the get page method in here. And for the get page, we need to pass in the page number. So let's say we pass in 0, and let's print out the get page over here. So we are trying to print out this, and this 0 is basically the index. Okay, so the indexing starts from 0. All right, so when I run this, we are getting, at least we are getting something over here, but it doesn't make sense to what we want, and probably maybe somebody will call it gibberish, and that's because we are just getting the page and printing it out. But then we can extract the text out of that page. And in order to do so, let me create in another variable, and I'm going to call this get text. So get text is going to be equal to the get page, the page that we just extracted, dots, and I'm going to call extract text from it. So this extract text method is going to extract the text from this page. I mean this gibberish stuff that we have over here. And now what I need to print out is, I'll just print out the get text in here. So I'll save this, and now when I run this, you can see that I have page 1. This is software engineering course, and that's essentially what we have on page 1. Now if I'm to pass in an index of 1, an index of 1 is then going to be page 2. So now when I run this, you can see that we have page 2. We will learn Python. All right, so we can go on and on and on. Good. Now having done this, we are halfway through. So basically we can now get this text and pass in it inside of a speaker, like we did with Learn Python with Cambridge Tech, or the first example I showed. All right, so basically this is what we can do. We can call in the speaker. So speaker is going to be Python text to speech dot init to initialize this. Then what I can do is I can do speaker.say, and for speaker.say we want to say or want to read out this get text over here. So I'll copy this and now I'll paste this over here, and now I can do speaker.run and wait. And now when I save this and run this,
Page 2. We will learn Python.
all right, so that's exactly what we have. We have page 2. We will learn Python, and let's put in, let's say, an index of 0. And when I run this,
Page 1. This is software engineering course.
okay, so you have page 1 software engineering course, but essentially we'd want to read everything out and not necessarily just page 1, page 2, and bypassing this over here. So what we can do is we can actually run it through a loop, and this is what I mean. So first of all, let me just comment these ones out first. So I'll comment these ones out, and because we have the total number of pages, we can know that it will end with the total number of pages as far as our audiobook is concerned. So I can run in a for loop over here. So I can say for num in, and I'll bring in the range method over here. So with this range, I can pass in the total page, and now if I'm to print out num over here, and run this, you can see that we have the first index, which is 0, 1, 2, 3, and these are the 4 number of pages over here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to uncomment this. So I'll do a control backspace and I'll indent this over here. Now in order for this to work properly, what I'm then going to do is I'm just going to cut this portion of the code where we initialize the speaker out of the loop. So I'm going to bring this just above the loop over here. Good. Now what then we need to do is, basically, since we now have access to the page num from this loop, instead of just passing 1, 2, 3, we can just pass in the num over here. So when I do this and save, basically what this is going to do is, after going through the process just as we've done, when it gets to this page, this speaker will be initialized. Then we are going to run through the total number of pages. So at index 0 will be passed over here. Then we are going to get a page. Then from here, we are going to extract the text from the page. Then the speaker is going to speak it out, because we are saying speaker.say over here. Then to run wait, then we get to the second index, which is 1 over here. It is going to be passed in here, and the process will go on and on till the last index. So just about here, let me just run this.
Page 1. This is software engineering course. Page 2. We will learn Python. Page 3. We will learn HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. Page 4. We will learn the Django framework and build a web application.
Alright, so clearly you can see that the index was also being printed out as we moved along, because that's with the loop. So immediately gets to that particular page number, it passes it over here and it runs. So finally, let's run this and let's look at it from this
Page 1.
section.
This is software engineering course. Page 2. We will learn Python. Page 3. We will learn HTML, CSS, and Bootstrap. Page 4. We will learn the Django framework and build a web application.
Alright, so this is our audiobook, and I think this is where I'm going to end. But clearly you can see that the application of some of these things are endless. You can build a full-blown application with just these simple lines of code. If I'm to take away the space I have over here and probably clear this off, because printing the page numbers is not too much of an importance over here, you can see that we are using only 11 lines to generate or create an audiobook, and this can be very helpful with a semester project or anything you would want to do. All right, so this is going to be the end of this video. Now if you find this video very interesting and you are getting value out of this video, then I'll kindly urge you to support my work. Kindly subscribe to Tech, and don't forget to hit on the notification button so that anytime I release a video, you'll be duly notified. Also share this video with friends and family who find this content very useful. At Tech, we say learn programming. You can do it, and catch you in the next video. Bye bye.